guys are starting to believe and, have more of a feel for the, what they're capable of. When you secure your fourth sweep of the season, how much more evident is that, especially in a game that was pretty close throughout and your bullpen was able to, stay with it?
Well, I think they know that there's something special can happen because we're still not playing great, and I don't mean that tongue in cheek. There's still a lot of things that we got to get better at, and I think they understand that. So, and the fact that we're still winning games when there's so much that we can improve on still is a big lift for us, and I think they're mature enough in there to understand that winning's great and we love that. It's a great feeling, but the momentum can continue to build, knowing that we still have a lot of room to grow as a team and get better at. So you combine those two things with continuing to put up W's against good teams like this, we feel good about it. But on the flip side of the coin, we know we got to get better still and got work to do.
Curtis had a really good outing today. Went all the way through 6 innings. What did you kind of see from him that made him have some of that early on success?
He came out pumping the strike zone, and as a pitching staff today, 1 walk, which was huge, and he had one there. But all in all, he threw the heck out of it. Was attacking the zone, had mixing his pitches very well for strikes, locating his breaking ball, keeping him off balance, and had a good feel. He and Sam had a really good feel today on when guys were going to cheat to his fastball and changing them up with his cutter or off-speed pitches. So, and the fact that he's able to land those is big. And he got some good momentum and threw the heck out of it. So, a great outing for him.
Did you have to be convinced to let him stay in the game in the 6th?
Yeah, I had every intention of taking him out, and very rare can a guy flip my mind like that, where my mindset was to go to Jesse right there, and I said, way to do your job, good job, way to throw the ball, and he just stone-faced me, and I was kind of like, okay, give me the ball, and he said, I want this guy. And usually, like I said, when I have my mind made up, I'll stick with it, but something about the look in his eyes just kind of, this is what we're trying to build, is guys that want to compete and want the ball, and he wanted his game, and so part of me was like, what, guy wants it that bad and is willing to, basically tell me to get off his mound, then okay, it's your game. And he made a good pitch. The McKeon hit a Texas leaguer there into center field and got one off the end, made a great pitch, and I felt very good about the next matchup with Cam, against Cam McGee. I knew there was, I don't want to say foregone conclusion, but I felt very good about our matchup there. So, for me, that was big for him to dig deep and get that one. So I was really proud of him.
Seems like he was as efficient as he's been all season. He's really good at getting quick outs, pounding the strike zone. It seems like he's had lapses of that at times, but when he's been on, it's been electric stuff, as you've noted before. How important was that to allow him to pitch deeper into the game?
Well, I think that kind of went into that thinking as well, is that he's pounding the strike zone. You could see the fastball starting to tail off a little bit, and he wasn't getting to his glove side as much as we wanted him to. But at the same token, he was still throwing strikes. He was still pounding the zone. He was still effective, and for him to come out and like you said, be very efficient. 85 pitches through 6 is not bad for him, and especially with the amount of strikeouts he had. So he was getting some early contact. Again, pounding the strike zone. That's the Christian Curtis we need. Is pounding the zone, using different pitches, and that was impressive.
Yesterday, Will came in the middle of the game to DH and had a pretty tough at bat. I think on 3 pitches, a couple swords. But today, obviously, it looked like he got a big weight off his shoulders. What did you kind of see from him today, maybe at bat that maybe could give him some confidence moving forward?
Yesterday the second at bat yesterday, hard ground ball up the middle. That's the first time I've seen him balanced through a swing in a long time. And he's been, the thing with Will is he can't get any better in batting practice, and in the pregame work and even simulated games, he cannot get any better. And then when he gets in a game, he kind of reverts back to some old bad habits, and we're trying to trying to solve the mystery as to why that keeps happening. And you know, yesterday was the first time, like I said, in a long time that he's kind of stayed balanced through a swing and hit a hard ground ball up the middle. And they had him played perfectly, but I was hoping that was going to get through for his psyche and his confidence. But the fact is, he had a good at bat there, which was good. His first at bat, you know, was not a bad at bat. He was able to see some pitches, lay off some pitches that he'd been, you know, chasing lately, and had a decent at bat there, worked it to a full count, and you know, hopefully you can start to see some confidence brewing with him, and that was huge for not only him but to wake our team up a little bit today. And he goes deep there and puts us on the board, and I think the dugout was probably more pumped than he was. You know, just everybody wants him to get back going and get him going again, because we can certainly use him when he gets hot. He's fun to watch. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction for him. I hope he feels good about it. I know we as a staff we're really happy for him today, so hopefully that continues.
And the hard ground ball yesterday, was that kind of a decision to put him back in today? Is that all you needed to see, or was it a decision similar to Christian that he was kind of wanting the opportunity to get a second chance here today to start from the beginning?
No, that was more, you know, what I saw yesterday, I think, is I was hoping that there's a light switch that turned on. It's like when you don't try to hit the ball to Van Buren, you know, you stay on it, and it's nice. You don't have to. The kid's so dang strong, he doesn't have to try to hit the ball far for it to go far. If he just meets it, it goes. So hopefully we drove that into his head today, where you don't have to try to hit the ball to the moon. It's just touch it and it goes with him. So you know, to answer your question, you know, everybody wants opportunities around here. We got a lot of guys that want to get in there and play, which I appreciate and understand. But at the end of the day, you know, I know what Will is capable of doing, and sometimes you just got a gut feel, and I wanted to ride him today with it to see if he could do what he did. You know, maybe pop one here and start getting him going a little bit.
I believe this wasn't the first time one of the pitchers has convinced you to allow him to go an extra batter or whatever the case may be. Are you starting to see that competitive flair kind of start to spread across, you know, not just pitching staff, but the roster as a whole?
A little bit, yeah. And guys are, they're getting more and more confident. I feel like, you know, guys are buying into the type of mentality that we want. You know, and it's easy to say that when you're winning, you know, but the true test is when you go through adversity and you still have guys that want the ball, and I think, but you know, I'll take it. Right now, we're heading in a really good direction. The guys are confident, and they're feeling it, and guys want to be a part of it, which is awesome. So I like where we're at, like where we're headed, and we just got to stay on it.
Especially to start what seems like is going to be a pretty loaded second half. How important is it to kind of garner this momentum against a pretty good team like Washington State leading into the next half of your schedule?
Well, I mean, I think you know, we played some decent teams early on. You know, Oklahoma State, you know, going down to Mississippi State was, I know they're not, win-loss record hasn't been what they expect down there, but you know, going into that environment for us is something unique and different, and not an easy place to play for us. So you know, going to play those games early on, I think was important, you know, to challenge ourselves. And even, you know, we were off to a tough start, wins and loss wise, but at least I think we were battle tested enough to take on our conference, you know, early on here. So you know, we're trying not to look too far ahead. We got a tough game coming up on Tuesday with our crosstown rivals, so that'll be the main focus. And then after that, you know, every conference series is going to be tough from here on out. We know that.
Kind of going off that, fastest 10 conference wins since 2009, also the 4-season sweep. You know, does that hold it? You know, does that make this any more meaningful for you? And what does that say about kind of what you and the staff have done this offseason and putting this team together that plays to the end every single night?
You know, I haven't really reflected on it a lot. You know, our focus is just win each game. You know, try to do whatever we can to win each game. And I've said it before, it's a 56 playoff game schedule where everyone's important. You know, the games that are, you know, quote unquote the weaker teams, those are the dangerous ones, because if you lose, that can screw up your whole season. So there isn't a game that you can take off. Every single one is important. We understand that. you know, the results are, numbers wise, I guess that's a result of going out and playing hard every day, and what the expectations are every day. And, you know, the wins take care of itself. If you go out and play the way you're supposed to, the numbers and all that type of stuff will take care of itself. So as far as to answer your other question, I think, you know, we obviously worked extremely hard as a staff to try to build a team that was what we're expected of, and said we're on the right track. We haven't accomplished anything yet, but we're going the right direction. So we got to stay on them and allow them to feel good about this little stretch right now, but give them the Easter holiday to go spend with their families, and I think that's important. But when we get back to Monday, it's time to go back to work again. So I do feel good about where we're going.
How fun is it in there right now? I mean, obviously, when you're this hot, it's got to be a pretty good mood. Are you guys able to enjoy just the fun of a stretch like this, 17-19?
Yeah, I mean, this is we are intense. I think anyone that knows myself and the coaching staff knows that we're intense, you know, and we don't like to lose and we like to win. But there are, you know, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of times where we go celebrate and have a great time with these guys in there, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, is to enjoy it and have a great time. And you know, winning is definitely important, but at the end of the day, you gotta celebrate sometimes too, and let your hair down and enjoy it with those guys. And I'll be the first to admit, sometimes I think I'm more pumped up than those guys in there. So I enjoy it. I enjoy being around this group. They're a great group of kids, and they they're starting to feel something special going.
It's got to be maybe easier said than done to just say that we got to take it game by game and things like that. But I mean, from where you were as a first-year manager last year to now, I mean, this turnaround has been pretty miraculous. Are you able to kind of just take a moment to at least just kind of realize, you know, sitting in the moment of what you've been able to do in such a short amount of time in your coaching career?
And again, it's not cliche, but no, I haven't, because I know that although we're in a good spot right now, it doesn't matter. You know, it really doesn't. If this goes for naught, if we don't continue to get better and keep winning games. So you don't have time to get complacent. If you're not moving forward, you're going backwards. So you can't stand still in this game. It just doesn't work that way. Just when you start thinking you got it figured out, you know, you get thrown a curveball and now you're scrambling to try and figure out how to win a game. So for me, no, I can't let my foot off the gas with myself or my coaching staff or any of these guys. It doesn't work that way in this game. This game will humble you real fast. So you got to stay on it, enjoy the hot streaks while you're on them, and keep pushing, knowing that we got to get better. But you know, I won't stop grinding to get better with these guys, because I know at the end of the day, if we want to get to where we want to get to, we have to get better still. We're not where we need to be yet, but we're heading that direction, but we're not there yet. So until we get there and until we're tasting champagne one day, I'm not going to be satisfied.
Are you excited for a homecoming road trip to Seattle next weekend?
Nah, I've been up there plenty of times. So for me, it's we got a big game on Tuesday. Once we get past that, then I'll start looking at Seattle. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of family and friends and relatives that go to that game. But you know, we got a tough one on Tuesday.
Thanks, Coach.